Hey, this is Brent from TradeGuild.net and Wolf on Wall Street. It is Thursday, August 12th, and we're going to take a look at a couple things that are a little bit interesting in what's going on in the market. Go to TradeGuild.net and check out the head and shoulders pattern, the ascending wedge. Um, I compare it to the breakdown that we saw in the last head and shoulders pattern in the market. It was very similar. Basically, it was just a matter of time. We kind of knew that. Yesterday, though, we had some kind of interesting things happen. This is an indicator that I've developed in Stock Finder. It's based on tick volume, and I have it on a 1 minute chart. So this is yesterday, the end of yesterday, and this is today. One of the interesting things we saw, the blue arrows are really the strongest accumulation, and the yellow are accumulation as well. Red is distribution, green is just normal price action. So one of the interesting things we saw yesterday was some accumulation, especially towards the end of the day over here around 3 p.m. Now if I jump to my telechart, I've got it backed up to yesterday at 3 p.m. and you can see really clearly that we have this really leading divergence that started at 3 p.m. So this was really interesting because we knew that new claims was going to come out this morning. It wasn't going to be good. So this didn't really make a whole lot of sense to us that we would see an up day tomorrow, or today actually, because we're looking at yesterday here. So it didn't make a lot of sense, but in after hours we saw price trade down from this 109.50 area down to like 108.30 in there. And if we look back at Stock Finder here, back on our tick, you can see the yellow accumulation here in the morning. So as soon as it dropped down, it gapped down, there was a lot of accumulation, a lot of buying. So I guess you could average the prices between this 109.25 level and 107.75 plus the 108 kind of area that they were buying in after hours last night. So as we see the accumulation, and then we start to see some distribution into the higher prices, and then distribution over here. And then again today at 2 p.m. we saw accumulation begin again on 2 p.m. on the tick, and again towards the very end of the day. Now if we go back to telechart and we go back to my 3C indicator that basically picks up accumulation and distribution, this is today. You can see that really big divergence here, this big positive divergence over in here, and we didn't start to see selling until basically in this area right in here, more selling in here, and then a lot of selling over here. And at 2 o'clock today we saw the accumulation. That's a positive divergence. When it got up to about 109, that's the level I was watching to see if it was going to break out. We saw distribution, and into the close. So it looks like there's been some accumulation today. I don't think that this was short term for this run up. I think what maybe we're looking at is some more accumulation that's been going on here. In after hours, we saw trade down a little bit so they can buy some more in after hours. I think we're going to see a move up tomorrow, a gap up probably. Here we are back at Stock Finder. Zoom in a little bit closer. There's that 2 p.m. accumulation we saw in 3C. We also see it in the tick and a little bit over here towards the end of the day. Not willing to buy at higher prices, knocking the market back down so they can accumulate at lower prices. And if we just jump right back to telechart, what we see here in telechart is the head and shoulders pattern, and then we see the ascending wedge over here, which you got to go to Trade Guild and look at the comparisons. It's really striking. We see the breakdown over here. Here's today. Now it wasn't an up day, but it's a day that pretty much closed near the highs. It opened very low on a gap down and closed near the highs. So I think between the accumulation yesterday and after hours and early this morning, I think they got in at a net average price. I'm not quite sure exactly what it is, but I think they ended at a profit, and I believe that they're doing it again today. The intent, of course, would be to scare people out of their positions. If we zoom in a little bit, A couple areas to watch certainly is going to be the 109 level, which we saw resistance at today. The 110 level is going to be psychologically important. I do not believe that they're going to fill this gap. I think this is a breakaway gap. I do not think it will be filled. Now, one thing that I was anticipating before this wedge broke down was a breakout to the upside up in this area, and then that would create a false breakout. It would put a lot of longs at a loss as they jump in and they would buy that new breakout, and then the market would fall. That is one possibility. I don't think it's hugely likely here, but it is one possibility. This is all meant to scare you, to shake you out of your positions. So keep an eye on how the market trades tomorrow. I have a feeling that we're going to see a move up, a close up higher than what we saw yesterday over here. This is Brant from TradeGuild.net. Like I said, please go to TradeGuild.net and look at the comparisons between these head and shoulders patterns. It's going to be really enlightening to you. You're going to learn a lot about the way this market works.